Hello, this is not my normal stream. Something's echoing, I need to turn off my volume. Keep having this problem. There we go. This is not my normal stream. I decided to work on a project and stream while I'm doing it. So you get to watch me do that if you so choose. So if you are here, I will be paying attention to the chat. I've got it on an iPad here in front of me, but I'm not going to be answering questions other than like just chatting with you. But this is not my normal Q&A stream. I also very well might delete this after I'm done. So do with that what you will. I've got a little project laid out in front of me on this bench. I've been working on building the ATEM Mini case that Caleb designed. I've got the start of it here, and I decided it'd be more fun to finish that with other people instead of by myself. So it's about like 8:30 p.m. So it's pretty late in the day for me. I've been working on stuff all day, but this is the end of my day. And I'm going to do this for probably an hour or so until I get frustrated because I forgot a part or something. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, say something in the chat if you're here. Say hi. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. Probably not going to be a whole lot of talking on this stream, but I will sort of narrate what I'm doing. And I got a couple of angles here to show you what I'm doing. So I've got my my desk here, and I've got a multi-view iPad, one Pelican case. I've got another Pelican case here as a backup. I technically already messed up. I'll tell you more about that. And I've got my top-down view. So this will be how you can see like what I'm actually doing. All right. So a little bit about this project. If you're not familiar with this, go take a look at Caleb's video. He did a very good video about building this case. The idea is that an ATEM Mini sits inside, and there's this little monitor, which is going to go up on the top there. Hopefully that's going to work eventually. And most of the parts are all 3D printed. Not most of the parts. Some of the parts are 3D printed. And what I've already done so far is I've put the little, oops, where's my camera? There it is. I put the little corner pieces in. So those are already hot glued in. And then I've started doing some test fits of the parts, and it's close. One of the things I'm doing differently from his build is actually, I decided to cram a lot more stuff into this than just the ATEM Mini and the screen, because I feel like that's only mildly useful, and I know I'm going to have a lot of stuff to set up when I go out and use this on a gig. So what I'm putting into this is actually a network LTE modem. So it'll have an LTE connection. It'll also have a wireless HDMI receiver, the Hollyland Mars Pro. No, just the Mars, because it has the antenna mounts. And that is, so there's this receiver. This is the modem I'm using. And what I've done is I've got these little breakouts for the antennas to mount the antennas on the outside of the case. So eventually these are going to get attached to the outside of the case, and it'll have little antennas poking out. And of course it's removable. You just unscrew it for travel. So those are going to sit on the bottom layer. The ATEM goes on top, and it almost fits. It's a little bit too tight. I think I can still make it work. We'll see how it goes. So then, because I'm now powering so many more devices, I've got a lot of power to set up in here. It's a lot more than what he showed in his video, because he was just doing the screen of the ATEM Mini. And I have those two plus 2 more devices. Plus, I was like, well, while I'm at it, why not also add some USB power? So I decided to just get a little 2-port USB power brick for the outside, and it just takes 12 volts. So that'll be just, it's always useful to have more power on when you're out in the field. So that'll give me 2 USB powers off of that. And then, yeah, there's some other holes and stuff in here. So I've got extra holes because I'm also doing flush mount audio and HDMI out instead of the sort of custom thing. So it's a little bit different, but today's focus is the power. And that is the part that I'm probably most afraid of doing something wrong because it's a lot of soldering involved. So I've got some extra wire here. This is the case, and what I'm going to do is get this is the DC power coming in from the back. I've already mounted that one in. And ignore the extra holes. I made some mistakes, and I've tried to cover them up. I had to actually just tape over this because I made a mistake, but you can't really tell. It's fine. Power coming in. I decided to put all the power on this side and keep the rest free so I'm not doing power across the thing. So the idea is I'm going to eventually have, so this one's for the monitor, coming down from the top. It'll be like about that long, so I'm going to have to cut this, split those wires out. I got a bunch of these little things which are DC power plugs with bare wires on the end, and they're all like a foot long. So that's long enough to like reach the different devices, and I had to get different sizes because the little router I'm using is a smaller one than the ones the other ones use. So the Hollyland router, those two, this one's for the ATEM. I have to chop this one up for the monitor, and then I have bare wires to go, or rather I can either use these, which are little like, they slide on, focus, come on. They slide on, and to the little, I don't know if you can see it in here. You can kind of see it. Slide onto the little part for the USB converter, and then probably going to cut that because that's really long. This is the power switch. I'm only doing one switch to turn everything on. I don't really think I'm going to need to turn off the monitor separately. So I got one switch, and that is, yeah, I'm going to use the bare wires for that. So I'm going to try to get everything, instead of soldering all the wires, I got these little blocks, and these little blocks are pretty cool. They've just got little screw terminals in here. And I am going to screw in the wires into this end. So I only have to solder, I guess I only have like 4, possibly 6 solder joints. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. And then a lot of just twisting wires together. So yeah. So, oh, and I want to keep it tidy in there, and I'm going to have a lot of, well, I've got these bricks if there's enough room for them. Now I have to remember where these go. Oh yeah, I think I'm putting them up here. I'm going to put them up on the side here. I think that's where I have to put them, and then hot glue them to kind of mount them there. And then I want to keep these things tidy, so I got heat shrink. I've never used heat shrink before, but I feel like I should learn how to use heat shrink. And I've got heat shrink tubing and a hot air gun, and I'm going to try to sort of shrink some plastic around those to better insulate them. So, good morning to everybody in Germany who's joining, and glad you can watch me live in the morning. Hopefully we'll get some people from Australia live, since it's now like lunchtime there, and they normally can't join my show because I normally stream at the middle of the night in Australia. So, I think we're ready to start. If you are, well, I can't do timestamps, but for anybody who's joining late, now I guess feel free to like skip ahead to live. Maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah, okay. I guess it's only a couple solder joints. I guess it's not that bad. 2:30 in Australia. Well, thanks for joining. I decided to upgrade my soldering iron, and I got this because it was cheap, but it's also like way faster than my old soldering iron, so that's cool. It heats up like almost instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in, turn it off, plug it in. I should have probably got one of those fancy like stands because this feels very dangerous. Just having this kind of like with a loose power cord. The next question is, should I solder it in place or do I solder it? Oh, I don't have the little grippy things. So I guess I'm soldering it in place so that I have something to hold it. I'm going to cut these up. Yeah, okay. Don't need those. I do need some bare wire. And we'll see how this goes. Tape the cord to the table, leaving enough slack to use it. Yeah. It's fine. It's kind of like resting on the end. See how I feel about that in like a minute. All right. I've got some fresh solder. I should have had some music going or something. Yeah, Caleb's video was super cool. I saw him posting about some early drafts of it when he was working on it earlier, and I don't remember where he was posting about that, but it was very cool to see his finished product. But I do feel like it fell short a little bit. It needs more things. It needs more stuff. It's barely going to fit in here. I might have to redo it later, and I might have to redo it in a larger case later, so we'll see how this goes. Also, it'd be nice if I didn't make mistakes as I'm doing this, which I already have. So if I redo it, I can do it without mistakes. Well, that's why I got a backup Pelican, just in case I totally messed up. Okay, so that's about how long I want it. And then I can always cut this shorter later, so I'm just gonna chop. Oh, that's a big wire. Jeez. Did not need to be that thick. I didn't really measure any of the like amps or current or anything, so geez, maybe my wire cutters are just dull. I have to go get new ones. These are like really thick though. 12 AWG. That's a lot more than necessary, but I don't really know what's necessary. Tony says, I mounted my setup in a 4U rack mount bag. But I really like the setup too. Yeah, the 4U that's what I use for my television studio rig, which I have a video on that. The bike rig, where I've got everything on the bike. Really fun rig. And there's a lot of stuff crammed into that case too. I didn't do like a teardown of what's in the 4U case, but it's a ton of stuff inside. It's like a decimator in there. There's a bunch of stuff. But even then, it still takes a long time to set up because there's just so many wires involved when you're doing a large gig like that. That is way more wires than necessary. It's barely going to even like... Okay, now I need to do the heat shrink. So, heat shrink tubes. Let's look, I guess like this one. Match the colors, red and black. So my theory is, oh, do I have a close-up cam? Maybe I can make this one a a little closer so that you can actually see close up of what I'm doing. Let's see if this is going to work. Now I need more light. So, okay. My theory is, yeah, I'm probably not going to keep this stream up after this is done. So you're watching this live, and it's not going to get replayed. I need more light. I need another light in here. Not that color. How about just a regular color? Yes, and now bright. Okay. There we go. So, what I wanted to show you was, gosh, this is really, really something. $45 people watching. Wow. I was also really curious to see what this would do to my stats compared to my normal streams, being at a different time and with no notice and titled something completely different. So that's interesting. So this is what I'm going to solder onto right now. And it's got a pin in the middle, which is for the red wire. The black wire goes on the tab at the end here. And like, if you look, oh gosh, where's my, how do I, the camera's in a bad spot. Okay. You can kind of see it. It's like the wire is thicker than the little tab. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I was like more willing to look up wattage and amperage and stuff, I would like calculate how many watts this whole rig is using and then get a gauge of wire that is appropriate instead of this, which is apparently way thicker than normal. Okay, is that in focus? That's not in focus. Come on, camera. I believe in you. There we go. How do you mount the ATEM in a 4U rack? Well, I'm talking about the ATEM Television Studio in that 4U rack. I don't use the Mini in a 4U rack for that exact reason. God, this seems really... Oh, keyboard drawer is clever though. Yeah. This feels difficult. Okay. You're all gonna watch me like set this on fire. Yeah, this is great. Wire is way too thick. I guess if I do that, and yeah, then I can just load it up with solder. So the idea with the heat shrink is I'm going to slip that on over the wire. Go, is this too small? This one's too small. Oh, but the next size up is so big. Or I can do blue. You'll call 911. Sure. I don't think anybody knows the address though. Okay. I guess I'm gonna use these blue ones so I don't get to color coordinate them, but at least they fit. So the idea is I'm gonna slip this on over, pull back here, solder that on, and then pull that over it, and then shrink it. That way, I guess I don't need, I'm gonna cut that out. That way it's insulated all the way up to the power brick itself. Okay. Chop that in half since I don't need it to be that big. All right. Slip that on. I guess I'm ready. So this thing, turns out soldering irons got way better than the last one I owned, which is from like 1995 from Radio Shack, and they heat up really fast now, which is awesome. Okay, it's heating up. You can see it counting up. I guess it's like, is that how hot it is? I know, that seems really quick. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'm not actually touching it. Okay, it stopped at 350. Is it actually hot? No. Yes, it's pretty hot. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I wish this wire was just a little bit smaller. It's just so big. Yes, here we go. Yeah, this is a neat iron, but it's also like, it was like $20, and apparently there's way fancier ones now too. So that's cool. Technology. All right, go, go, go. Go, go, go. How do I heat up all those wires? Yeah, it would be easier to take this out if I had grippy tools. I don't really want to hold it by hand, and I don't have anything else to grip it with. I guess I know my next purchase. Okay, it's heating up. I can see it. Come on. So I'm basically just using the case as a grippy tool because I don't have anything else I can hold it with. Okay, I am pretty convinced that this wire is too many gauges. Or rather, not enough. It's too low gauge. Tin the wires is probably a good idea because they're starting to fray already. Yeah, the 12 gauge is really thick wire. I should probably have used a smaller wire. Oh my God, okay. You know what, this is not working, and I think I'm going to, oh, there it goes. Maybe I should open a window. There's just so much wire there. Like, seriously. Can you see how thick? Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Come on. Come on, you can do it. No? Let's try this one. Focus. Oh, come on. You're supposed to be good at focusing. Why? Let me turn the ISO down. That's a little hot. Okay. Focus. Come on. Seriously. Oh, it's because I'm too zoomed in. There we go. It's really, really thick. I kind of want thinner wire. Oh, you know, I have extra wire. Hmm. 12 gauge is perfect for bedroom LED strips. Yeah, well, this is... If anybody here is an electrical engineer, would you tell me what gauge of wire I need in order to use with a 5 amps at 12 volts? 5 amps, 12 volts. What gauge wire is that? Because if it is actually 12, then I won't feel bad about this. I'm going to use the table as a hand. Okay, now come on, focus again. Just a lot of heat to heat up that fat of a little tip. Need more heat on the soldering iron. 350 is not enough. I can turn it up. Let's turn it up to like 450. I don't really know how hot soldering irons are normally because I've never had an adjustable temperature one before. All of mine before have been just, I don't know, it's on or it's on. Okay, it's 450 now. I still don't believe it can actually heat up that fast. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. But still, anybody want to do some math for me? I'm trying to figure out if I really do need 12 gauge to push 5 amps at 12 volts. This is so not working. 8 what? 8 gauge is even thicker than this. I'm guessing like I am only streaming this on YouTube. I should be streaming this to my own website since I can do that. Oh, I need like a restream thing to set up in order to do that well. Maybe I'll do that for the next one. 18. 18 sounds reasonable to me. For 5 amps, 0 to 25 feet. Yeah, we're going like 1 foot, so I don't really need... Okay, this is really frustrating. What is this one? Maybe I can use the rest of this wire since I don't need the whole thing. This one is 18. This looks much more reasonable. So I do need about... I don't need this whole thing, which is coincidentally long enough to do this run, I think. Okay, if I do that up to, yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna cannibalize this wire because 18 seems much more reasonable. Where's the other one? The other one does not have a fuse in it, so let's just grab about the same one. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't want that in. Yes, I don't want those because they're too big for these screws. Goodbye. Oh yeah. Much better. Also, you know what I should really invest in is wire strippers. I always just use wire cutters. Come on. This is why you need wire strippers, because it turns out it's really awkward to do this with cutters. I think these are just extremely dull. You know, that's the conclusion I'm coming to. I have zero idea how old these are, but probably at least 10 or 15 years. This is how to prepare your solder iron before you use it. I just like to dive in. I don't think it's soldering iron's fault. I'm pretty sure that wire is just inappropriately sized, even if I was soldering it properly. That was the spool that Caleb linked in his video, which is why I bought it. But I did not realize how fat 12 gauge is. You know what else I wanted to know is how many Pelican cases did Caleb go through in the making of that video, because there's no way he did it right in the first go, I guarantee. If he did, he is very smart. I should tune the tips though, you're right. Oh, darn. Okay. Oh, yes. This is much better. I was using these lights all day, and turns out the batteries don't last forever. I hope that's enough light. Okay. This looks much more reasonable. I can now, I really do need more light. Hang on. All right. So I think I have another problem, which is that I may have, was I using this last? Oh, I was last using this to push the little, to heat up the little brass things to shove them into the plastic parts. So if you look, there's a bunch of little brass things here that are now part of the plastic, because I heated them up with the soldering iron and then shoved them in, and they melted the plastic on their way in. And I think I may have got some plastic on the tip of the soldering iron. So I can use the smaller heat shrinks now, which makes me happy, because that way the colors match. Don't need that much of it. Oh my god, I can't believe how long it's already been, and I've barely done anything. So far I've failed at... Well, I've explained what I'm doing, and then I've failed at actually doing it. Okay. Here we go. No, that's too much. Use a little file. Yeah, that's a good idea. I also need to get a file, apparently. So many little tools involved in this. Okay, now I'm going to try to prepare the tip of... Okay, camera, why are you having such trouble focusing? There we go. Oof. That's good. It's blurry again? Come on. Okay. Oh, that's better. That feels way better. Okay. Yeah, you know, I just don't think we need 12 gauge. Oh, I already messed up. Well, I can recover from this one. Okay. So what I'm doing is... Okay. That looks good. I think... Yes, that looks like a solder joint. Okay. One down. What I did wrong already was this is actually going to first go to the power switch, not to the little break, the little, what are these called? I forget what these are called already. So I need to actually make this shorter just to go to the lower power tab and then run a little jumper from the top of the power switch over to this, which I don't want to hot glue right now, but maybe I just should and get it over with. No, I don't want to do that right now. I want to be able to access these screws. So, okay, that's going under there. Yeah, don't forget the heat shrink. I'm going to do that. I guess I should probably just do that now. I don't really want to do that now. I want to heat up two things, but I've got it here. I don't even need that much of it. I'm going to use the shorter end. So I've got that here, slip on over the wire, and then it can go like that. That's nice and tidy. Yeah, well, the other end's not getting, oh yeah, this end is getting solder. Ha ha ha, good call. Does this one fit? Yes, it does. Now I need to put this one on. Okay, how long is this going to be? I'm going to run it under there, under the USB. I'm going to run it along the edge and then up. So I want it like there. Oh yeah, fun fact. I also lost the little ring, the little nut, the plastic nut that came with this USB thing. I don't know where it went, and now I have to like hack it up. And then I also realized that I put it too close to this, so even if I had the nut, it would be not possible. So I'm just doing great. This is why you follow instructions so that you don't make mistakes twice. And I'm not following instructions because I'm doing what I want, which is adding more gadgets into this box. So if you're just joining, I am making the box the case that Caleb designed. However, I am adding some twists to it. I'm doing my own thing and adding USB power on the side and HDMI breakout on the other side and a, oh my God, what's this one? Oh, Ethernet breakout, Ethernet port on the side. So that I can, and there's a modem here and wireless HDMI there. That way I can actually like not have to set up as many wires when I'm going to go do a gig. So I'm pretty excited about it if I can actually get all these things connected. All right, come on. You need 16. What am I using? 18? That's not good. Should I revert? Should I abort? This is only 1 foot, so, but should I use the big fat stuff and just make it work? It's not too late to abort this. Come on. Where are you taking? There we go. Okay. How much do I hate this? Let me see if it's heated up now with the, and can do this with a fat wire. It's just so big. I'm probably not actually going to be pulling the full 5 amps either. That's just the power supply rating. This thing is like eating solder. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about this. I hate how big this is. So the total amps, I don't know how many total amps I'm going to use. Maybe I should actually add this up. Okay. 1.5 plus who knows? This one doesn't say. This takes anything from 6 to 16. No idea. I'm not going to do a fan. I'm not going to do a fan. I'm just going to cross my fingers that I don't need a fan. Wi-Fi is 1.5 amp. Hollyland is who knows. ATEM is also variable voltage. Where's the power supply for the ATEM? It says output 12 volt 3 amp. Okay. Monitor. $12 volt. It didn't come with power supply, so I don't know. I might not have enough amps for this USB port to have any left. So I'm already at 4.5. I don't even know how many the Holyland. It's probably about the same, right? It's probably like, yeah, I think I need more than 5 amps already. You're right. It means I need to go get a bigger power supply. So I should use the fat wire. Especially if I'm going to include this USB port, which I really do want to include. Yeah, I mean, I really. So Kenny, the Holyland power supply, it does not come with one because it just is battery powered, but it has a 12-volt input. So I guess probably their spec page would show how many amps it uses. Same with the monitor. Okay, let's see if this. Let's see if this goes. Oh, that's a good question. What connector am I using? I didn't think I was going to need to worry about amps because I thought everything would be just way more than enough. But now that I've added this up, I'm second guessing that. 1 to 2 amps for Holyland. Okay. These things are little power hungry machines. God. Okay. I should actually look at the DC power connector that I'm soldering, because that would be really unfortunate if it was like caps out at like 3 amps or something. Yeah. If that is the case, then oh, why did my camera just black out? Now it's back. That was weird. Search all orders. Power. It is a, yeah, I got a 5 amp power supply, which is apparently not enough. Here's the DC. So this is what I got. $10 amp. 30 volt, 10 amp. That's plenty. Okay. So I just have to get this thing hot enough to take some solder. How can that thing be rated for 30 amps or 30 volts at 10 amps and be so small? How is that possible? Kenny says I'm going to attempt to do something like this with the Holyland Mars 300 Pro, which can be powered by USB-C, and also with USB-C powered monitor. Yeah, that is a good idea. that would probably simplify things, although you're going to end up with a lot of wires. One of the nice things about doing this, one of the only nice things about doing this wiring is that I can get the lengths to be exactly as small as they need to be. So that is, yeah, with USB power, you're going to have to go find short USB cables and such. But no soldering. Well, I'm glad I'm doing this live because otherwise I would just be frustrated by myself right now. Yeah, okay, this wire is getting hot to the touch, which I guess is a good sign. Let's see if I can put it in there. Go in. I can't even, like, there's too many wires to even make a connection. Ow. God, it's hot. Okay, next time I'm going to get like a macro lens so that you can see real close up what I'm doing. Okay, I think it's finally going. Yes. Come on. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Oh my God. Go in. No. Why did it do that? Go in. I need like something to hold it while it sets. Yeah, the barrel jack is freaking tiny, which is why I don't understand how it can support such a high amperage. That would see, yes, we're back to this problem. This wire is too thick for this barrel jack because the wire is 12 gauge. But we need 12 gauge to handle all the amps I'm pushing through. But the barrel jack is rated for the right number of amps. I give up. This is ridiculous. Look at this mess. I can't. Come on, focus. Ow, it's hot. See, it just flattens out when I try to solder it to the barrel jack because the barrel jack is too freaking small. This small wire worked great, but now I'm worried that it's not thick enough. So what am I supposed to do? The barrel jack is freaking tiny. I'm pretty sure I can get it onto the power switch. The power switch is, I think it'll work. I think I can like, it's got a big fat tab. The barrel jack is just so small. Might be easier to remove the barrel jack. If I had something that can hold it up, it would be. But I am stuck because I don't have the little grippy hands. But maybe if I do it this way, Maybe this angle is a little better. It's just so small compared to the wire. This is not how it's supposed to work. I'm gonna Google this again. I should have done this ahead of time. 12 volts, 7 amps, wire, gauge. Here's a little chart. No, I don't have any flux. I just have solder. Well, no, I want a small chart. Zero to 4 feet, 10 amps, 16 gauge. What is this? 12? This can handle up to 20 amps. This is way overkill. I don't think I'm gonna have more than 10 amps in this thing. So I should be using 16. That does, however, mean that this one, what was this one? 18. Probably is too small. So what are these? 22. That's interesting. Is this going to even work for the ATEM Mini? 18 gauge is not on the chart that I'm reading, so I need to find another chart. Now I'm worried about this, powering the ATEM Mini. 22 gauge. What's the actual, but the power supply on the ATEM Mini itself is tiny. I mean the wires for the power supply. Like, look at these things. This is what's powering the Mini. 20. What did I say this was? Where'd it go? Oh my God, there it is. 22. So there is a chance this is under, there is a chance this is too thin for the Mini. What is this one that I got? This one is, does not say. How come it doesn't say? It just says 300 volts. That's weird. I wonder if the wonder if the product page for that one says anything. That one was a 3-foot right angle. Motion Ocean says I'm running 15 watts, 12 volts PoE on Cat 6. 15 watts is not that much. That's half of what the ATEM Mini uses. This one is what gauge? 22. So the good news is, I guess, that these things are not getting soldered in. This is just going to screw into the terminal block. So I can always swap this out later with the ATEM Mini for a bigger one. But I am now back to, I need something between this and this. And I don't know if I have anything here, which is going to be really sad if I don't, because that means I'm pretty much screwed. Steve says, how about switching your case connector to a DTAP? May have several advantages for connectivity. Sure. I don't know what that looks like. Let's find out what that looks like. Oh, one of those. Yeah. Maybe. Apparently there's batteries with that kind of connector. I'm trying to think if I have any wires of the right gauge lying around here. If not, I think I would have to abort. I didn't do anything. Just talk to the camera for an hour and a half. So the only other problem with DTAP is that I may not have enough places left on this case to cut holes out, because I kind of already made mistakes on the cuts. What other wires do I have here? What other wires? I'm going to do a lap. I'll be right back. I don't see anything. I am not seeing any random extra wires. Well, I was afraid of that. This is, yeah, I didn't see any random extra wires in this place, and I don't have enough random parts here, really, to do that. So, I had this, as soon as I got this wire in the mail, I had this thought. I was like, this seems way too thick. And I guess I was right. So I think I should abort this for tonight, which is really sad because I wanted to make progress on this, and now I'm just not. And so instead, I need to get some new wires. What can I do instead to do something tonight, get something done? I guess I could connect all the little screw terminals. Let me turn this off. Apparently I'm not soldering. After all, I can connect the rest of these to little terminal blocks because that's just some screwing. And I'll feel like I did something tonight. I was so excited to use that heat gun too. So I've got one for the LTE, one for the Hollyland, one for the ATEM, which I think I'm just going to do it anyway. Worst thing that happens is this thing catches fire. Go shopping while I watch. Yeah, well, it's 9:30 p.m. So nothing is open right now. And yeah. I should probably look for another one of these now that I'm saying that out loud. Okay, the monitor one is here because I need it to be longer, and I can cut that up. Vice grips, D-tap connector. I should make a shopping list. Okay, that's gonna go here. That's for the monitor. The power is up at the top. This is gonna loop around there and then end up about here. So I'm going to cut that here. Don't need that one. And now these just go into the terminal block. Okay. You know, I should also get is wire strippers. Feels like I had wire strippers at one point. These are very small. Well, the monitor is not that high wattage. Okay. Battery and conversion plate. What is that? I don't know what a conversion plate is. See, I live in software for my day job, and then occasionally I play in the video world. I used to do some soldering and electronics when I was very small with like the Radio Shack kits, and never really got that much farther than that. Oh, I need way more of the outer layer of this stripped. Hey, out of curiosity, is the audio from this stream better or worse than my audio on my normal streams? For those of you who normally watch. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Now that I've got these. So that goes up there, that runs around there, and then I can do red and black. So now I can actually, it sounds good. Thank you. I'm glad it sounds good, but does it sound better than my normal one? Now I need a screwdriver. I don't know where the screwdriver went. I had a screwdriver earlier today. Problem is I used it for something. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, there it is. It's hiding on the desk. Everything's fine. Okay. Power supply on some black magic switchers that look like an XLR connector might be an option. Yeah, that sounds like difficult to get power supplies for, and also there's not enough room on the back of this case anymore. Actually, there never was. It's actually, this, I don't know if you have this case, but it is way, way smaller than it looks like in Caleb's video. I was surprised. I actually had one already. And I was like, I feel like I recognize that number of the Pelican case. And I went and grabbed my case, and I was like, holy crap. This thing is very small. So yeah, I don't think I can, this, you could fit an XLR connector on the back, but that's about all you can get. The ATEM Mini actually takes up most of the whole width of the case. I need more of this shielding taken off. Ah, there we go. Kenny says it sounds better. I hope it sounds better because it's actually a much more expensive microphone. And my computer is not working a mile a minute. Okay. So these little terminal blocks, I think all I have to do is make a little curve and then get it underneath the little clampy bit, and then tighten that back down. See, that's a lot easier than soldering. Should just all be like this. Okay, now I'm making decisions about which one is red, which one's black. We can do this. We can do this. Tin it? Really? I don't think so. Why would I need to tin it? I'm not permanently connecting it. It's clamping down. And then, oh, one of the other things I have to do is connect these in here, which are these little jumpers to connect all 6 of these together. And I think I want them on the bottom, which is what that side is going to be. So I'm going to shove that in now. Oh, yeah, tinning it would stop the fraying. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Get all the little things. All the little things. All right. I don't know what's going on there. Protects the wire from corrosion. I guess that's a good thing. Well, if I do that, it means I get to successfully solder something, so maybe I'll do that. Oh, this thing heats up so fast. Okay. Did I loosen those already? Yes, I did. No, apparently I did not. Use the converter with a V-mount battery. It would be cool to get a V-mount battery for this. I was planning on, well, having just a DC barrel jack means I can power it with whatever. And honestly, most of the time I'm going to be powering this from a wall anyway. But it would be cool to have an option for battery power. I don't own any V-mount batteries yet either. Okay. But after talking with Tommy today, I'm very tempted. Okay, these are done. Watch the temperature on your iron, you will melt the handle. It's supposed to be regulated. It's supposed to not, like, now not go more than 450 now that it's set to 450. So we'll see. Okay, that one's done. I can do the USB because this is the thing. This is the one that came from the USB power, which means it's rated for the right gauge. So which one is that? This is the little USB power thing that I got, which is super cool. 2 USB jacks, and okay, the plus is the silver one, which I feel like is backwards. Normally they make the gold one the plus. That's weird. Okay. So that one is the plus. And I need it to be about that long. It came with a fuse on the end of this too, but I don't really think I need that. So this is my 18 gauge, but it came with the USB power supply, so I assume that it's safe to use with it. Come on. I really need to get wire strippers. Is anybody making me an Amazon list? All right. It's not silver and gold, it's tin and copper. Copper is ground. I mean, I was talking about silver and gold, the colors, yeah. I didn't think it was actually gold material, but still I feel like the silver color is normally the one associated with ground. Anyway, like black and white, or no, red and black. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Autofocus works by looking for a vertical line. If you hold the wire so the camera sees a vertical line, it may focus faster. That kind of worked. It does have an easier time looking for a vertical line. Look at that. Very, very clever. Okay. We learned something today. I would have used my teeth by now to strip the wire. Yeah. I don't. Okay, that one worked great. Why can't it have all been like that? What am I doing? This one. Curtis, good to see you here. This is quite possibly the nerdiest thing I've done all day, and I do a lot of nerdy things. Yes, well, this is the first time I'm doing this kind of live stream, so we're just seeing how this goes. Okay, the red one goes here, and Antonio says, I was planning on doing this, but I'm thinking twice already. So I did notice that in Caleb's video, he did not really show much at all of the process of building it. He mostly showed the end result, which is fantastic. But, and then I read his blog post, and his blog post is also a very good write-up of everything, but kind of kind of glosses over some of the details of some of the things, like this step in particular. And I think now you all know why he did not do this on a video, because it's very boring. Very tedious. And it's getting late. It's getting very late. Did I consider using 12-volt pigtail cables? Pigtail. I don't remember what kind of cables those are. So I don't remember if I've considered it. I'm mostly using my fingernail for stripping that. Okay. Give it a little curl. See, I know just enough about this stuff to be dangerous, but not enough to like actually know what I'm doing. Which I feel like is a dangerous place to be in this industry. And now I'm also realizing I should have opened a window. Yeah, this is a tedious project. This is not something that you just quickly throw together. Curtis says, I think there's a market for these. I'd buy one if one were available for maybe $500 with the monitor. I am not sure I would build this for money. I am telling you that right now. This is a lot of work. And I'm sure someone can get faster at building it than me, especially once you know what you're doing. Oh yeah, and Curtis, since you probably weren't here at the beginning, at least I didn't see you here. One of the things that I'm doing different from Caleb is packing way more stuff into this. So I'm packing in a Hollyland Mars receiver and an LTE modem. And these go on the bottom of the case, and then the little antenna breakouts, which are what these little things, I got these little extenders for the antennas, and I've got holes on the sides of the case, so there will be antennas on both sides, one for each device. And that way I can actually like avoid plugging in more cables when I'm using this, which is just going to get really messy really fast. Because I know how many things I bring to gigs when I actually use this stuff. Okay, that one's for the monitor. That one is for... That one's for the monitor. That one's for the... Is that plugged in? That's not plugged in yet. This is for the modem. This is for the Hollyland. So I got to do these two now into this. This is for the USB. And then, yeah, hopefully enough airflow. We will see. I'm not convinced there will be, but Curtis says, okay, maybe $1,000. I'd like you to keep teaching us how to live stream and some companies start making these. That would be ideal. Someone who actually has like a proper workbench and workflow and tools and manufacturing process should make these. And they should not be made by hand out of Pelican cases. That is my conclusion. As cool as this is. I also have some ideas for other ATEM Mini rigs that I'm going to hopefully design once I learn a 3D modeling program, and then have... Oh yeah, I had a friend print all the little parts for me because I don't own a 3D printer, and he was nice enough to print all these things for me. But I may have been convinced to get a 3D printer because I've asked him to print several things now for me, and I feel like once you reach that point, maybe I should just own one. Okay, what is the last thing holding this on? Come on. There we go. Okay. Roger says, what's the plan here? What are we building? I am building Caleb's ATEM Mini case with a few extra devices. I'm throwing in a few extra things like wireless HDMI receiver and a LTE modem, putting an Ethernet port on the back, and I am breaking out the Ethernet port so I can plug in the LTE modem, which also provides network to the ATEM. And I am breaking out, I'm doing the HDMI and audio differently from Caleb because I got little flush mount things instead of the little connector that Caleb used, because that looked a little messy in my opinion. Oh yeah, the tip of this is tinned. That's cool. That's cool. That's about right. The other thing we're doing here is making a list of tools Aaron needs to buy that he does not actually have the proper versions of, and is instead using very dull wire cutters as wire strippers and things like that. So yeah, I am learning things I need to buy. Okay, that's already tinned, which means I don't need to worry about that. So that goes in here. Now, terminal block. What's going to power it? That is a good question. We added up all the amps and it came to probably 6 or 7. So I don't know what's going to power it yet. It's apparently not the power supply I bought because the power supply I bought is only 5 amps and now I need more. So I guess that's going back in the mail, and I'm going to get some bigger 12-volt power supply. To be determined. Come on, get in there. I've seen some amazing cases on the ATEM group on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook anymore. And sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on that stuff. More people need to post videos about theirs so I see them on YouTube. That's the solution. Yeah, 7 amps is a lot, but like the ATEM takes, what was it? What was the ATEM itself? 12 volts, 30 watts. Now I'm forgetting the math on that. And that's the biggest one. That's the biggest draw by far. But then the Hollyland is like 1.5 itself, and the monitor is probably also. And so probably is the router, something close to that. And it just adds up really fast. Oh, and then I got this USB. I also adding USB power on the outside just because I was like, well, I've already got power on the inside. USB power, like I never regret having extra USB power when I'm on set. So I was like, I'll just add USB power power block to the outside. And that is what these little things are for. Okay, that's for the router. This one is for the Hollyland. To do this, one more of these. So I guess this is not a solder with me. This is a cut wires with me and screw them into the terminal block, because if you weren't here at the beginning of this, I bought the wires that Caleb recommended, and they are too freaking big. Too big. And I can't connect it to the DC terminal. So they're also like way overkill. They don't need to be that big, but I am packing in a lot more amps through this thing. But it doesn't need to be that big. And I need something in between that and the other wire that I have on my desk here. And that means I need to go find that wire somewhere, probably at a store, because I don't think I have any lying around. Although it's possible I have some at home. And that was one of the boxes I did not bring with me today. Angela says, I can share my rig setup once I'm done this week. P1535 case. Cool. I would love to see it. Make a video about it. And then, or actually, post it on the forums. I think there's a link to the forums. No, I didn't put a link in this video. Any of my other videos, especially the recent ones, have a link to the forums. And you should definitely post photos and a write-up over there. People will love to see it. There's a whole share your rig section. Kenny says, thanks for streaming the process, waiting for my parts to arrive to make a slightly bigger case with a 15-inch monitor. Hopefully I can fit the LTE modem in it too. Cool. If you have a case big enough for a 15-inch monitor, I'm pretty sure you'll have room for an LTE modem. I'm actually tempted to, so they have this briefcase case, and I'm tempted to try this again in that case. And it would fit my, oh, it's off frame, but it would fit the monitor that I had in the shot on today's earlier live stream. And I think it's a 15. And it also tips back a little bit. Like I don't know if you can tell. Let's see. Yeah, see how it's like, this doesn't quite open up all the way at 90 degrees. So that actually means that like you're pretty much always gonna be looking down at this unless you have this up at eye level, which is really awkward. So the briefcase case, I think it looks like it opens up slightly past 90, which looks like it would be a lot more useful. Roger, yeah, definitely go post photos and stuff. I don't use Facebook anymore, and I don't like anything about Facebook. I haven't for a very long time, for many reasons. So I am not really interested in contributing to Facebook being a thing, and instead, that is why we have the forums, so that there's a place to go to share things about this stuff that is not Facebook. Okay. This needs a little bit more solder on the tip here. So you do get to see me solder. Just not what I thought I was going to be soldering. Okay. I kind of still want these going down. Am I going to regret that? Because these are going to be like mounted like this. I don't really want the wires coming up from the top. Maybe I'll just start doubling up on some of them. I think that's fine. Yeah. That seems fine. Okay, we're going to do that. I like that it's got a little metal square piece that clamps down instead of the screw holding the wire down, which is, I feel like I've used a lot of these before that just have a screw. All right, and let's get this one. So is this a kit or are we just winging it? Well, this is Caleb's write-up of his design and his 3D printed parts. So he designed all these little parts that make up, like they go in here and that's what the ATEM sits on. So that's his design. Because I'm not ever content at just following someone's directions, I'm making this hard for myself and adding new components. So I've added more devices into the box, which means more power connectors than the kit version, and many more holes on the side of the case, some of which I already messed up and had to redo. So a little bit of both, I guess, is the answer. Thankfully, the hard part, or at least for me, of designing 3D printed parts, that I did not modify. That was straight out of Caleb's design. Okay, that is too long. These are too long. That's what's happening. They're too long to go around. Thanks, Curtis. Thanks for joining. See you later. Sure, I'll catch you on a stream in the future. Okay. Yeah, it's late. I should be going soon, too. This is going way longer than I thought. Ow! Use cases for this? Streaming from a park? Yeah, for now, because normally my use case for this would be streaming streaming small events. Going to small conferences, things where I don't need a full TV studio setup. That is obviously not happening anytime soon. So, for now, yes, I'm doing this because it's fun, and I like building rigs, and yes, maybe I'll stream from the park. Maybe I'll do one of my Q&A sessions with this from a park if the weather holds up. Okay, why are these being so round snap-in rocker switches and HDMI female to female panel mount adapters out of stock? Everybody bought all of the products in Caleb's video. I am sure he made so much money from the affiliate links in that video. Speaking of which, I need to give links to the things I'm using in this. Okay, I think those are finally in there. I don't know why those ones were so much worse. Okay. Don't take those out. Last one for the ATEM Mini itself. Yes. Okay. And then I have then I just have the two soldering to do once I get the new wires, which then get screwed into this end. So that'll be one from the DC barrel to the switch, soldered at both ends, black wire soldered from there, screwed into the terminal block, red wire soldered there, screwed into the terminal block. 4 solder joints. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 wires. Okay, I can count. So yeah, that's gonna have to be another day, sadly. I was hoping to finish all the power today. I got all the cutting done on Saturday. Was that yesterday? Yesterday morning. I got all the cutting done. And I was really hoping to get all the power done today. Just not in the cards. Yeah. What else? What else am I doing? Looks like my other light ran out of batteries again because I did not plan for that appropriately. So I ended up getting well, I don't have it yet, but I put in an order for the 3D printer, which is the small version of the one that Caleb has. And because it was like really affordable. It was like $400 or something, which I didn't know that could be that cheap. So it's a little bit small. It only prints like 7 by 7 inches, but it's very small, and I feel like that's a good size for the studio space here, which is not very big. I'm pretty sure it's going to live in my little shelf over there. And yeah, they're like 8 weeks back ordered, so I'll get it sometime in December. See how that goes. Then I can print brackets and stuff myself. Then I have to learn some 3D modeling software. Roger says, unrelated question. What wall color did you use? I'm guessing it is gray. It is gray. You can tell because if I move the light away, it is, what I did was I went to a local paint store and I brought a color checker, little color card, which has middle gray in it. And I looked for a paint chip that was the closest to that gray, and I asked the people, what are your grays that are most neutral? Because sometimes they make grays by mixing colors together. So I found the most neutral gray, and I got the most neutral gray in a shade closest to the color chart as I could. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close, and it's pretty effective, as you can see by the color of my wall right now. Yeah, that is an RX 100. No, it's not an RX 100. It's a the new one, ZV1, to this angle. Sony ZV1 is the sort of follow-on to the RX 100, designed for vloggers, quote unquote. And they made a bunch of cool. They made a bunch of cool changes to the RX 100 to actually made a lot of good improvements. So I really like it. It is micro HDMI out, so that's just running straight into the ATEM. And I actually have it powered over USB, connected to a power brick on the wall, which is why it hasn't died yet. Oh, that's cool. Rocky missed stripping wires and soldering from when I was taking an electronics class. Nice. I wish I had taken an electronics class. But I'm very glad you did. That's awesome. Yeah, it's relaxing, I guess. We're making it relaxing, even when it's stressful and I have the wrong wires. So, yeah, the ZV1's great. I like it. It is nice and small and basically does everything I want out of a camera that size. The little autofocus, like the product shot mode, is also very cool. Once I finish this, I will demonstrate that. The autofocus on it is just really good. Come on, get in there. What are you doing? Guess I can go in the other side. I don't have to go in the same way on both of them. There we go. Now, clamp down. How do I feel about that connection? Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, that's progress so far. And this is why I need this other light, which ran out of batteries. Oh well. This is the progress. This is what I've done. Very little soldering has been happening because I have the wrong wires. I can show people pictures on my phone and it focuses right away. That's a cool idea. Yeah, pretty good. Cool. Okay, I don't even have the thing flipped out because I was looking at it on my multi-view. So power, everything except the 12 gauge, which is too mini gauge, and I need thinner wire for that. This goes, yeah, John says, best of luck with your project. Watching now is a bit like watching paint dry. Yes, it is. This is why this is a chill stream. And also why I'm probably not going to make a proper video about building this, because I don't think it would be that interesting, even if I did have interesting looking shots. It's just a lot of tedious work. Okay, this is fitting in here. Oh, come on. This one's supposed to be able to focus well too. It's a A6400. So that goes there, and the wires are out, down, running down. Black goes to copper. That is, I don't like it. Black should go onto the silver one. Red goes on to the silver one, or tin or whatever. Okay, not actually attaching that, just placeholder. And then this one, I should probably thread it better. Thread it through there. It's quite some cable management it's gonna have to be going on. That's gonna run up there, the monitor, and then these all hang out down here. That one's for the ATEM. Okay, I hope this is gonna work. Yeah. So next step after I get the right wire, which I guess is happening on a different night, is short red wire from there to there, a red wire from there to there, and then a black wire from there to there, running around the edge. And that'll be the wiring done. So I'm trying to keep all the power on this side of the case because I want the rest. I don't want power wires running across the whole thing. But while I'm here, let me just show you the last pieces that I got. So this thing is a Ethernet breakout. So it is Ethernet on both sides. Oh, there's the outside. So it's got this little screw cap. So it's Ethernet on that side, Ethernet on that side, which means, and then this clamps in to the side, onto the side of the, that you can see the hole for it. And if I have my lighting right, you can actually look at that. But it goes in there. I just didn't have a light on. I don't have a light on that side. I'm sorry. Why isn't that one? This one should be. This one should work. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. So Ethernet there, and that bolts on. And then the other one is in the other box. I'm really excited about this one. I'm less excited about how long the wires are, which I can't trim. But this is a combo HDMI and audio. And then on this end, it's got the connectors already here. So it's got HDMI and audio. This goes up to the monitor. So I'm gonna go and run this through that hole, and then somehow spool it in the case and then run up to the monitor here, giving me a nice, let me turn this off, giving myself a nice port on the outside there. Then on the other side, we've got the USB power, which is just for extra power because it never hurts to have more USB ports. And ignore that. That is a hole that I drilled in the wrong spot. And then on this side will be antennas for the LTE modem in these little holes once I mount those in. So it's going to look like that when it's done. And on the other side is the antennas for, in those small holes, the antennas for the HDMI receiver. And that is everything that I'm cramming into this box, which is going to be a very tight fit and may actually fail by the time I finish this. So I am making no promises about whether this actually works in the end, and I do not yet recommend doing this officially. That's my story. So I think I'm done for the night. Let's see, what else is happening in chat? Yeah, I think I'm done for the night. I don't think I can do anything else. The power, oh yeah, the power button. Completely accidentally, you have to see this. So I randomly drilled the hole for this power button here because I was like, that looks like a good spot. And it's like, you know, in the middle. And sure, it's fine, right? But guess what? Watch this. I'm going to turn the power on, and I'm going to close this. And do you see what's about to happen? Once I snap that down, it flips the power switch. It smashes, it closes right on to the off position. It's on, now it's off. It's on, and then when you close it, it's off. I did not plan that. Did not plan that, and I completely lucked out because that could have ended in a worse position. So, yes, good job. I'm just glad that worked out. The other thing about Pelican cases is that once you drill a hole, you can't undrill a hole. Like, that's what this disaster is. It's gaff tape, but it's still a hole, and I can't do anything with that space anymore. And you can't, like, reuse part of it. So, oops. I only get so many chances to mess up on this. And I just didn't want to completely trash the rest of this case. The other thing that I did differently from Caleb is the back cutout is different because, so I didn't go all the way down because I don't need the bottom piece to run the HDMI breakouts like he has. So this is there just because I need room for the HDMI cables to loop back in to the case, because I'm going to do HDMI out obviously goes back into the case for the monitor, but also the input 4 is going to be the wireless receiver. So HDMI receiver goes back in here, and it fits. I had to notch that out for those, and that's notched out for Ethernet to loop back in because the Ethernet gets plugged in inside the case now, which is super cool. And then, so this plugs into the LTE modem, which then runs this LTE modem has 2 Ethernet ports. I wish I had more, but this is fine. One is called WAN, which is where you plug an internet connection into it. That's the one I'm breaking out to the outside of the case. The ATEM gets plugged in on the inside of the LAN. So as long as this has internet, ATEM has internet. And the cool thing is that if you want to use it as an LTE modem and use its wireless internet, you can reassign the WAN port to be a LAN port. So I could actually, if I wanted to like plug in a computer wired into this, I would then be able to plug in a wired connection into the computer. But this is also a Wi-Fi access point, so you can also connect a computer or an iPad or other devices onto the network wirelessly. And yeah, I'm going to Uh, Sean says, what a great episode of fail. Yeah, pretty much. This is the reality of building this. What you didn't see of Caleb's video is how many times he messed up, which I'm assuming is more than 0 before making the perfect case. But he did a good job. Failure, the essential building block for success. Yes, thank you. Ivan says, did you dry fit everything prior to cutting and drilling? That is an excellent question. So, kind of. I took Caleb's word for it that things were going to fit the way he said. However, I'm changing several things. And what I failed to do was account for some of the vertical height of things. I think I'm going to have to actually add some washers on top of these to bump it up, probably almost a 1/4 inch, because like you can see when I put the wires down, that takes space. And if I'm putting the equipment on top, then I'm eating into the space the ATEM Mini would have. So it's going to sort of be a little bit taller. I think the monitor sits in far enough that I think it'll still work. Anyway, no, I did not measure everything. Partly because it's really hard to measure and dry fit everything without being able to actually... Like, I got the corner brackets in, which are really helpful. And now that those are in, I've been able to do some more sort of rough fits. I figured out where these have to go in order to, like, have room for that plus the modem. It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. Anyway, I'm not sure this is going to work in the end. This could just be a giant fail. And I may have to redo the whole thing in a bigger case. Yuna says, I told you people watch you doing solder. Yeah, you did. You did. You were right. Serge says, what's the main reason you like the ATEM Mini? I notice you really like this device. I do really like it. I think the main reason is because I've been using the Blackmagic ATEM switchers for a long time. And they're always really solid, and I like using them, and they work well, and it just makes sense to me the way those work. And when they came out with the mini version, I was like, this seems perfect for when I don't need the entire capabilities of the bigger devices. Plus, they built in a lot of cool features like the streaming. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Cool. Well, this isn't really a Q&A stream, so I think I'm going to just wrap it up here. And thank you all for watching, even if it was not successful. I can't believe I've been doing this for 2 hours and barely got... No, I got some stuff done. I got the wires connected. And I know now what wire I need to get. So I will buy that and do that next time. And maybe I will live stream that one. I feel like it would be very short if I just did that, although who knows at this point. So I guess at that point I could do that and then at least see if everything powers up. Brandon says, show everything going into the case. Not right now. It actually is like really complicated to do that. And then I have to undo it all anyway. Next time when I finish the power, maybe then I will throw everything into the case and power it all up, because I should be able to at that point completely get a functioning thing even if it's not all bolted in, once I can apply power to all the devices. So that seems like a good next stream. All right, thank you for watching. This was fun, and I'll probably do it again. I still haven't decided if I'm going to keep this stream on my channel. Probably just going to delete it. It doesn't seem like anyone's going to watch this again later, because it's not like it was a tutorial at all. In fact, it was mostly just a lot of failing in various ways. And I don't even remember where this is from. Oh, it's the cap for the solder. Oh, that's cool. There's a little hole in the cap. How cute. That way you can avoid it falling out. And you can still get solder out. Fun. All right. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next time.